Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of Gardiner Houlgate Auctioneers based in the UK. We're going to have a look at one of their latest auctions, which is guitar amplifiers, effects and other kind of studio equipment. So Gardiner Houlgate, big auction house in the UK, and several times a year they have multiple guitar or musical instrument related auctions, and June is one of those times. They have 4 different guitar auctions and 1 general musical instrument auction. I've done a video for the one of the guitar auctions, which is antique and classical guitars, so check that one out. I'm going to do this one now on amps and effects, and then there'll be 2 on basically electric guitars and 1 on general musical instruments. So this sale is probably, I guess, the least interesting and definitely least popular in terms of viewing of all of the Gardiner Houlgate sales, because it is amps and effects and nothing super crazy unless you're a massive person into amps and pedals. So we're just going to kind of blitz through it as quickly as possible. This is finishing on the 13th of June. It's 26.4% is a buyer's premium, so you pay that on top of whatever the final hammer price is. Bear in mind this is a UK based auction, so if you're looking to get something shipped outside of the UK, check all the kind of fees, terms, conditions, all of that fun stuff. So before we crack on this and do a super speed run through, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing, like or comment, because it really does help. So yeah, we're just going to really blitz through this super quickly and just see if there's anything interesting really. There's 590 lots, which is a bit of a crazy amount of stuff to be honest. But yeah, let's see what we've got. We'll start off with the first lot anyway. We've got 1971 Marshall JMP 1959 100 watt super tremolo valve head there. So that's quite nice, 1500 to 2000. You can get load of information here about where it's come from, what's happened to it. Gardiner Houlgate really good with the guitar stuff. They have their own YouTube channel, so they're really spot on. You find a lot of information there. Obviously I'm an impartial viewer to the auction, I'm not affiliated, but I'm just going to give a general overview. Looks like it's been restored. Yeah, looks interesting in any case. We've got another 1981 GMP master model as a kind of combo amp there. 87 JCM 800 here, Marshall acoustics, cab there. Got one of these 2011 appetite for destruction / signature heads there. You can see like the / logo and everything on that, and they want 2,500 to 3,500 on that. Obviously if you're a big Guns N' Roses / fan, that might be for you, but otherwise you might not be so keen. JCM 900 there, which is bit of a staple of the gigging community, certainly anyway when I was doing gigs back in the day. Lots of people had them. Marshall valve state, another cab there for a JCM 900. Marshall PA speakers there, another acoustic amp, another lead 60 cab there, missing a bit of the decals. A few more Marshall valve states and things, these are not so great. Marshall AVT 150 guitar amp. So it looks like it's signed by Jim Marshall there. So Gardiner Houlgate do not guarantee full working order of any electrical items, so bear that in mind. So I think this is one of the transistor amp ranges, so not particularly exciting. Marshall cab there. Right, Fender 68 Princeton reverb amp there. These can be quite nice, 400 to 600 on that. See what else we've got here. Fender Blues Junior. Right, 1962 Fender Super Amp, 1,500 to 2,500 there. That's quite interesting. Some noise to the potentiometers. Okay, Celestion speakers in that. Fender Mustang there. Fender Super Champ. Fender Pawn Shop. All fairly modern stuff. Fender Deluxe. Nice 1978 Fender Bassman 50 guitar head there, 400 to 600. Actually always wanted one of the Bassman combos. Here's a Fender Blues Deluxe there, the reissue made in Mexico. Quite nice looking amp there, 300 to 400. So curious one there. Right, here is a Bassman, so I'd really like to get one of these amps at some point. This is a reissue one from 1991. 500 to 700. These amps are ridiculously heavy, but they sound pretty cool, and that's a well used one there. Fender Blues Junior, Hot Rod Deluxe, Fender Deluxe 112, Fender Blues Deluxe, Fender Cyber Twin. That's one of these modern fandangled things. Looks a bit weird. Fender Princeton, Acoustasonic, Fender Champion, custom shop, Fender Champ there. It's got current bids already, 400 on that, 1978. See what else we got here. That's nice. Early 1970s Fender Bassman head and a cab there. It's nice, 700 to 1,000. Exceptional condition for age, apparently. 1964 Fender Tremolo, 1,200 to 1,600. A lot of these kind of 60s amps, it's looking in pretty good condition though, to be fair, for their age, because it is getting on a bit now. They're not too long, and they'll be literally certified as antiques, so that is kind of interesting. Cab there. 1979 Fender Pro Reverb. Looks like a couple of guitar cabinets there. Got an Orange Crush Pro. This is one of the kind of modern ones, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. And this is one of those transistor ones as well, so not so exciting. Little Tiny Terror. These can be quite fun, but a little bit kind of limited, I think. Black Star. These were really, really popular a while ago. Don't know if they're still popular now. Potentially they are. Oh, that's interesting. Black Star. St. James model. Not seen that one before. 4 to 600. Some other amps there. So that's the first page. Right, high watt. Nice 1970s high watt cab there. Bass cab. Okay, high watt amp there. 200 there. 1800 to 2200. So 1979. These are quite nice. I thought these used to be a lot more desirable than they are now. It looks like the value might have gone down a bit with them. And here's another one there, custom high watt 100. So I think this used to be a lot more popular. Voxes here, Vox speaker cabinet, 2x12. These are nice. These 1960s AC30 head. I like these ones, 2.5 to 3.5. It's quite interesting. Vox, a Super Beetle guitar amp from the 1960s. That's interesting. 3 to 500. Cab, yeah, interesting. A couple of these interesting Vox speakers. Some more Vox stuff. I like the way that they've grouped this together. Actually, that's quite interesting. Restored early 1960s Vox there. 2014, 1996 one there. Okay, 1960s Vox Defiant solid state amp head. That's interesting. I've definitely not seen one of these before. 5 to 800. Curious. Valvetronics. I'm not keen on that stuff. 1977 AC30. I feel like these kind of older Vox amps have gone down in value as well. There's Roland Jazz Chorus. They're popular. Selma Treble and Bass. It's been kind of got some added decals on it, 2 to 400 with a little cab as well. Selma True Voice Zodiac, these are popular, yeah, 1,000 to 1,500. These are fairly rare. Another Selma True Voice stuff. Some quite nice old Selma heads in this auction. Interesting. True Voice Bandmaster, yeah, this stuff is pretty good. Then PV stuff here. Yeah, I like this that they've kind of put it in order, actually. That's quite cool. Laney stuff here. Laney. Music Man. I always like some of these Music Man amps as well. They're quite cool with wheels. So fairly interesting. More Music Man stuff. Gibson Gold Tone. Line 6 Spider. Definitely not a Line 6 amp fan at all. Some of the Boss stuff here. Down Electro. These old Park amps are kind of curious. 1,500 to 2,000. And let's move on and see what else we've got here. Some more vintage amps. Okay, so what do we have here? Silvertone, yeah, interesting. Sears model, kind of the big stuff coming out, the catalogues there. Harmony, amp there. All these HH stuff is so cheap. Look at that, starting bid 30. Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is not too bad. I quite like the way that they look, but I feel like the amp value is really dropped, but maybe not. These Sims Watt heads are pretty cool, actually. Quite nice PA1. Impact head 1960s, yeah. It's curious. Yamaha amp, Epiphone. A few kind of radio things there. Converted radios into amps, so interesting. Tech 21 stuff there. Sound City. These were super popular at some point and quite expensive, 2 to 400. I wonder if people have moved away now, I guess, because these digital modelers are so good now, some Sound City cabs there, that maybe people have really gone away from valve amps, because I mean, valve amps, just lugging them around is a bloody pain in the arse, to be honest, so I don't blame people for moving to modelers. Some Trace Elliott stuff here, Mesa Boogie. The Mesa Boogie stuff is just so expensive in the UK compared to the US, so just never really, not really a fan. So I think some of these more retro ones are probably okay, but all the metal bands in my time were using all these like dual rectifier things. I just thought they were horrible, to be honest, and really thin, but that's my opinion anyway. Some other bits here. Magnatone, that's interesting. Older amps here. These WEMs are quite interesting. Old Carlsbro T60. Some of this Carlsbro stuff, was good. And when they closed the line, they were selling these things so cheap. Unbelievable, really. Harley Benton, it's a Thoman brand. Ashdown, called Cornford. Once again, the Cornford Harlequin 3 to 500. That's kind of interesting. That would have been a high price thing. SWR, that's a good brand as well. So yeah, Crate were a kind of interesting band at the time. Hardtail, early Watkins there. Let's have a look at that. So some of the really old vintage stuff seems to be popular, but otherwise. So let's see what else we got here. Phil Jones, that's good stuff for bass. Ashdown, Matchless, yeah, that's kind of, we're getting into kind of higher end territory there. Lazy J as well. Car, yeah, it's all fairly boutique kind of stuff. Kemper Profiler Cabinet. Okay, interesting. Right, some speakers and stuff there. Bagheera, wow, starting bid 60. That's crazy. I mean, I know that these were pretty cheap to start with, but it's interesting. Headstrong, don't know that. Swart, Seriatone, Overtone Special. Is this like a clone of like a Dumble amp or something like that? Kind of looks a bit like it. Yeah, interesting. AER. Let's see what else. Some mini amp stuff here. Other bits and pieces. Lots of tubes, valves. Little Heart Black Star amps. Nothing too crazy. That's what I mean. This is a bit of a bits and bobs auction. Well, lots of Black Star stuff. On to pedals as well. If there's anything super interesting, we'll stop. Otherwise, we'll just do a bit of a flick through. More stuff going on here. Space Echo, it's interesting. See if there's any really nice old vintage stuff. The old big muffs there. Let's see what else. Mosaic, Trio, MXR stuff there. It's nice. Old Tube Screamer there. Let's see. Wah pedals. Some of these old colour sound things are quite popular. They've been popular for quite a while actually. Univox fuzz there, old school fuzz. Okay, let's see what else we got here. HH stuff here. Some little guitar processor things, so nothing super crazy. Some more Line 6 stuff. Other kind of smaller pedals. A lot of the modern stuff I have no idea about. Nice Ebo there. These are the really budget Behringer stuff. It does seem like the estimates of a lot of this stuff has gone down since I recall, but maybe not. Let's have a look if there's anything interesting. We're on cases and stuff now, so nothing too crazy. Pickups, might be some interesting vintage pickups, custom shop pickups there. Bits and bobs I'm not gonna bother getting into. Another odds and sods, some tools and bits of wood. All a bit random really, all bits and pieces. You can pick up some bits for a project, some microphones and things, so we're into pro audio territory here. Some keyboards and stuff, so it's a little bit getting out of our realm. We have a look at this sequential circuits Pro 1 model, a 100 synth made in the USA, 900 to 1100 on that. Yeah, sometimes have some interesting synth stuff in these Gardiner Houlgate auctions. Not sure if this is going to be one of those auctions or not. Some other bits and pieces here. Sure, some mixing desks and stuff which will be useful to some people, but a little bit out of our scope that we're looking into. More mixing desk stuff, so real pro audio. Then heading up to the last page here, a few bits more pro audio stuff. That's kind of interesting. What's that? 1970s Levers Rich Pro Line 2000 TC mastering reel-to-reel tape desk. Yeah. Acquired from the vendor from Thames TV in 1991. Interesting. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to use that kind of stuff in this day and age, but interesting bit of history. More keyboards, but fairly generic kind of stuff, and some audio monitors there. So yeah, there you have it. That is the end of the Gardiner Houlgate kind of amps and pedals studio equipment sale. Like a few interesting amps there for sure. Nothing super crazy, but interesting enough. So thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.